Hi guys, welcome back to part 2 of our solving literal equations. Now on the last video you guys saw on Wednesday, we just talked about solving literal equations and isolating a variable. And you may be thinking, well, what is the point of this? And the reason that we are taught literal equations is so that we can manipulate formulas. Does anyone recognize this formula? Maybe from your science class, you notice that this is the formula for distance. So distance is equal to rate times time. So depending on what scenario we are given, we might need to manipulate this in order to find a certain value. So for instance, say that I was looking for the rate. Well, right now this equation is set up to find distance, not to find rate. But what I could do is I could solve this equation for r, which will give me a new formula that allows me to find the rate. So for this equation, what I'm going to do first is I'm going to solve for r. If I wanted to know the rate, I could also take the same equation and say, for instance, I was given a problem and I wanted to find the time. Again, this is how I find distance, but I could solve the equation for t, and that will give me a new formula that allows me to find the time. So to do that, we start off with the distance formula for both of them, and then we're going to manipulate each to solve for our desired variable. So remember from the previous slides, the first thing we want to do is we want to identify our desired variable. Here we want to solve for r. So then I need to decide how to get rid of this t. Well, this means rate times time. So that means that we are going to have to divide by t. If I do it on one side, I'm going to do it to the other side. And then we can see here, these cannot be combined, which happens most of the time when we're doing literals. So distance divided by time is equal to the rate. Or we can rewrite it so that rate is equal to distance over time. And now I've taken the distance formula and turned it into the rate formula. I can do the same thing for time. I want to figure out what the time is. So I'm going to get rid of this r by dividing on each side. And we'd be left with distance over the rate is how we find the time, or we can say time is equal to distance over rate. So what we've done here is that we started out with one formula that allows us to find the distance, and I was able to manipulate it to a formula that finds rate and also a formula that finds time. Okay?